The Lunartic Degustation was inspired by the full moon, so it was held during the full moon night. People were encouraged to dress up as mental asylum patients or doctors. This time round, my restaurant manager had to be kitted up in a sexy nurse's uniform. I think that everyone was quite tickled by the fact that everyone was kind of dressed in costume. I think, yeah, people didn't expect it to really look like a mental asylum. So the first dish that I did was called the Picasso, for obvious reasons. But this was a hiramasa ceviche that you had to paint. So we had, edible tubes of paint that we made out of parsley and maple syrup, orange that was lobster oil, and lemon and saffron for yellow. I think they had a lot of fun. Also because, it's exciting that they partake in creating their own dishes. So in a way, if the dish tastes badly, it was probably their fault for painting it wrong. Mooncake was a modernized version of the snow skin mooncake that you usually get during Mid-Autumn Festival. Well, it resembles a mooncake, but it's almost like a savory terrine with jam and very nice smooth foie gras that resembled an egg yolk. Well, the reason why I wanted to explore mooncake was because of the mold and how, we use it traditionally, and the mold itself is very nice as presentation. And when I went to San Sebastian, I taught one of the best chefs in the world how to make a mooncake. So I thought I should apply it in Malaysia as well, in my own restaurant. Quack was a deconstructed duck cassoulet, and you just have to imagine all the elements of a duck cassoulet, the beans, duck confit, the duck fat, all been pulled apart and then placed back together and served to you in a raviole. So even the skin I used was roasted till it was crispy, so fashioned after like a Peking duck style as well. Hey diddle diddle, the cat in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. So the cow that jumped over the moon was actually a braised David Blackmore eye round. It was stewed for 8 to 10 hours. I incorporated chocolate in it because I was very influenced by the Mexican mole. And this was spooned over some roasted crispy Parmigiano Reggiano's crisps, and of course then we also served it with a little bit of a lush foie gras emulsion. The final dish was the dessert, and it was called Losing Your Marbles. This was black apple marbles. We call it black apple marbles because it was apples that were carved and dipped in like a gelatinous black kappa, served with some spiced chai cream and basil seeds that you usually get, in the Malay markets where they serve it with rose syrup water. And then of course this was served with an accompaniment of just warm apple tea that's infused with cinnamon. So it's a very, reminiscence of apple pie, reminiscence of India. And I think the last time I was in India, it was also during a full moon, so it kind of clicked. During that night, we actually borrowed real professional hand restraints from a psychiatric ward. But I was pretty much strapped to a chair and I was walking around in a mental asylum patient's outfit. Come to think of it, I was the only patient there. Everyone else was dressed up as administration. So my screw was the bonus dish. This was a sugarless lemon and lime jelly. And then it was served with just a very thin layer of cream. You had to eat it before just to see how inedible and sour it was. And then after you take this miracle berry tablet, which alters your taste receptors, and once you have it again, everything that is sour now tastes sweet. So we fed them this sugarless jelly. We had a wedge of really sour lemons. With some customers, we poured them vinegar. Everything tasted like honey. The dinner was exploring different themes, and this one in particular was about madness, so it gave me carte blanche to do anything I wanted. I was very happy with the outcome of it. It's nice to know that my customers actually understood it, or got it, or accepted it really. The highlight for me was doing something experimental. It's a hint to more weirder things to come, depending on my mood and my menstrual cycle. Can lah, I don't care.